we are here to talk about the Ark Sports VIGG. As anyone's heard this show for any length of time knows that I've loved this suit from day one. And because this is a special show where we're finally talking about this thing, I wrote a poem.
Welcome to the Low Tide Boys, a Swimrun podcast. I'm Chip.
I'm Chris.
I'm Annie.
This is Brooke.
This is episode 188 of the show. We are talking about a product which we were talking about this before the air. Everyone thought this has already been reviewed, but I think it's mostly because I talk about it pretty much on every single Gear Talk. We're talking about the Ark Sports VIGG suit, which is my favorite wetsuit. I've loved this thing forever. And Ark was cool enough to send us their newest version, which is the VIGG AIR, which is their sleeveless version of this suit. And we're going to do a deep dive on all things VIGG. But first, anybody have any gear updates, stuff they're testing or whatnot?
I mean, Ark, they also sent along a few extra goodies for us.
They did.
They did, which was nice. Very kind of Helen and the team over there. We got some of the new Ark flip-flops, which are great for to and fro the pool, avoiding any nasty shower.
Yeah. Also archipelago proven.
Bacterias. They are.
That's the coolest part about them. They're archipelago proven.
What do you think that means in the form of a flip flop?
I think they wore them on Uta.
Yeah. Probably into the sauna after Attila, the Ark flip flops. Grade 5 out of 5 on that. And I do have a story how they excelled. We around the house, I am, if there's any insects, I heard spider, so I go and I look and there's a spider somewhere on the wall. And I go, the first thing I looked to smash this thing was the Ark flip-flop sitting right there. And it had really good action and good recoil, and I flattened that thing in no time. So if you need to smash any spiders, I can attest the Ark flip-flop works very well.
I love things that are dual purpose.
It's multifaceted product.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I would say this is triple purpose, however you'd say that.
Tri-purpose?
I have used it to escort a spider peacefully out the door. I just lay the flip-flop out next to the spider, and the spider crawls right on, and then I take it out the door, and I fling it like a Frisbee.
That's much more
the
humane.
Spider knows it's archipelago proven.
Must. It must.
Yeah. And
I'm actually liking them.
I should probably send them to my mom to see if she can flip that thing right off her foot like a boomerang like she used to do when we were kids. They hit us upside the head with them.
Just from a kick, just whip it out.
It get to the point.
Like one motion, and
it would get to the point where when we were screwing up, all she had to do was look at us and just lift one foot off the ground with the hand kind of cocked like she's going to grab the chancleta and whip it at you.
Wow.
So actually. That's for another show.
Good thing your mom wasn't wearing Birkenstocks. Those would have hurt more.
Yeah.
Knocking out the kids.
Oh, lost another tooth. Ark was also cool enough. They have some new prototype goggles that they sent along, and these are black smoke, very in the and as if you know Ark products, these are just right up the alley with black everything. I tested them out a few times in the pool. Brooke, I know you have given them a rep?
Yeah, I actually wear them all the time now.
Oh.
I have put my Zogs on the shelf. Well, not really shelf. The swim bin. Zogs are in the swim bin.
Rip.
And I've been wearing the Ark goggles to pool practice, open water. I love them. And I never wear those little, they're little, they go right around your eye socket.
They're not that little.
Not like sports swimming, not like pool.
Yeah, it's not like
little.
Yeah.
No, they're like the next level up. They're definitely not like the Zogs. The Zogs cover your whole eyebrow.
The Roca.
Yeah, the Roca bug-eyed ones.
Yeah, but I never wear those little ones because they never fit my face and they feel uncomfortable. I think these feel so comfortable. I love them. They don't leak on me. They don't fog up. I haven't had to use shark spit or baby shampoo or anything yet.
Chipper just perked up.
Chipper's
like, what? They don't fog?
Quest for the Holy Grail.
But let me, let's keep testing because I've been wearing them for 2 weeks, but every day swimming in them, either in the pool or the ocean. So they're holding up. But the one thing I don't like about them, maybe this can be fixed in the prototype, is to adjust them. The band feels fragile. Like I got them and they were way too tight, so I had to kind of adjust them. And the way that it's looped through the whatever you call it.
I noticed this as well.
Claspy thing.
Yeah, the little claspy thing is so tight and you pull on it and it's rubber. You feel like you're going to snap the rubber. And that's the only way to adjust them is just really gently, slowly pull, kind of like you're pulling a Laffy Taffy and you're trying to split in half and you want it to break like just at the last moment, you know?
Yeah.
Know exactly
That's
what you're
good.
talking about.
That's an relatable experience for everybody. These goggles will run you $28 US. I also liked them. I really liked how they had a good wide field of vision. Like they're definitely an open water style goggle. It's not like what Brooke was saying, like, you know, probably like the Michael Phelps ones that you found and then has since returned to the ocean, Annie. Those ones are probably very streamlined. I had some fit issues with them myself, so I don't wear them regularly, but they were very comfortable. I will agree with your strap comment. And they also don't have an adjustable, like the nose piece, it's all one piece. So if you have if you need them further apart or closer or whatever, you're SOL on that one.
Yeah.
So it sounds like an early stage hot take would be if they work for you, then they work well.
Yeah. Or if this is just their first iteration, maybe they'll take our feedback and make some adjustments to the strapping and to the nose bridge. I think those are two really good.
I haven't tried them because I am not swimming in the pool right now and I don't want to commit to wearing the wrong goggles for a swim. Mm-hmm. And so I haven't tried them yet, but in just handling them, what I've been struck by is how like kind of flexible and just sort of resilient they seem. Like they are perfect for stuffing in a pocket.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. And I also, Annie didn't want to commit to them for a swim, and that's exactly what I did. I stuffed them in my pocket while I wore my Zogs, and then I swam for a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give them a try. And then I switched them out, and they're much easier to stuff in the pocket than the Zogs.
I bet.
Maybe that's how they were proven in the archipelago. Is
pocket stuff.
One of the ways they were proven. We don't really know what the proving process looks like.
I like
we just take their word for it.
I'll tell you what, when you look down and like when you look down at your foot and your flip flop reminds you that you're wearing something archipelago proven, you just like step a little lighter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, whenever I wear the hoodie, I'm like, I feel like I'm archipelago proven at this point from having gone over there and doing the race.
Yeah.
Well, you are.
You did prove
I think when you've done Worlds, you are archipelago proven.
Yeah.
For sure.
Any other gear that anybody's been testing out?
Yes.
Well, I've been doing some longer swims with my Vivo Barefoot.
Ooh, Hydras.
Is that the one we got?
Mm-hmm.
Hydras, yeah. So we here on the island like to do these really long swims, and sometimes I'm worried I'm going to get too cold or I'm not going to be able to make it. And so I like to wear my shoes. That way I can get on the beach and run a little bit and then hop back in and join the other swimmers. And so I made the mistake of wearing these with ankle socks and like just that come up to the,
no show
cuff of the shoe. Yeah. Like minimal show. And the back part of the shoe, you guys all know this technical term. I don't know this technical terminology. The cup, like the heel cup.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it would be. Okay. The heel cup is so high that when you're swimming, it chafes against your like upper ankle. So I got like two gnarly, bloody.
Whoa.
Chafe.
Oh, like by your like Achilles, like over your
Achilles. Yeah, like right on the middle of
like
my
when
Achilles.
your toe is pointed rather than
like when you're
in
swimming,
like a
it's just
position.
kind of exactly. Yeah. So if you do wear these on a swim run, definitely wear some socks that protect your ankle. These aren't meant for no-show socks.
Yeah.
Good tip.
But loving them. Other than that, I wear them all the time.
Oh, I have an update. A few episodes ago on a Gear Talk, we were looking for a pill container for the salt tabs, and I have found they're called stashers. It's a little reusable Ziploc bag essentially, and I don't know, what would you say? It's probably
like
4 by 2 inches, and it has a waterproof silicone thing, totally reusable. So I actually cut up the PFH Precision Hydration electrolyte tabs. Have like 3 or 4 rows of 5.
It's like a blister pack.
A blister pack. Thank you, Chris. And I just cut it up, and then I put them all in there so I can fit more than the allotted recommended dosage of salt, according to the box in that. So I think I got a 2-pack. I want to say maybe they were $6 to $8, maybe $10. I got them at Sports Basement. They definitely have them on Amazon. Stashers.
Are
and
these
also,
the little? They have a lot of
Cool.
different sizes. Like how
it's
big
the
is
smallest
yours?
little size. I would say,
The pocket bag.
yeah.
They have one
like a
that'll
pocket
fit a
stasher?
sandwich, by the way, in case you want to
Or some
stash
grapes.
a sandwich.
Well, I have one of them for veggies.
Yeah. So it's the same
For
thing.
my
It's
lunch,
just a
but I
smaller.
haven't seen these tiny ones. These are cool.
And you can actually, before you do the final zip seal, you can sort of compress it and get it kind of more so that nothing's getting in there. So I've used that at our last
That's
swim run we did.
awesome.
That was 3 hours. That worked well. I use it on the trail runs. So I think I
And
have
it
found
totally
my
keeps
solution.
water out.
Yes.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question, Chipper. Did you use it like after a particularly long swim where your fingers might have lost some dexterity? Was it still easy?
That
to
would
kind
be
of
one
manage?
thing.
I was going to ask that too.
Yeah, it is a little, I want to practice a little bit more. It is a little cumbersome to kind of get it out. I think for storing them for long term, like if you want to keep something dry, it will work. But you're right. If you were a little cold and you couldn't get in there, it would be maybe a little bit tougher to get into the Ziploc piece. So that could be the only drawback. And it takes a little bit to kind of get out of your kangaroo top, open it up, and you just have to be a little bit more, I guess, on top of it, I guess. But Stashers bags.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm on their website. Like it.
Cool.
Awesome. It
So
was posted on Cold Finger.
Ooh, and they come in really cool
Adaptability.
colors.
Yep.
Pink, blue, coral. Wow.
What color did you get?
Rob's
Chip?
looking.
Aren't
Rob's
pink
looking
and
for
I think I
something
got
for-
pink and coral, actually. Or this is like a
Awesome.
2-pack one.
Rob's looking for something to hold his lactate pills. I think this is it.
lactate pills
Yeah.
are important
Christmas
if that's your
gift.
issue.
Just avoid the yeah.
Or
cheesemonger.
avoid the D.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are here to talk about the Ark Sports VIGG. As anyone's heard this show for any length of time knows that I've loved this suit from day one. And because this is a special show where we're finally talking about this thing, I wrote a poem about the VIGG.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I did.
I'm
And-
sitting down already. So
And if you're
I can't
thinking
wait.
that this is coming out of nowhere, in a previous life when I lived in New York City and would do stand-up comedy, I jumped into an open mic night where it was like a spoken word thing. And I came up runner-up on a spoken word poem about pork buns. So I
Oh
do
my
have some
God.
credentials of what I'm talking about.
Chris, you're so multifaceted.
Do you guys want to hear this?
I just thought you were a
I wanna hear
swimrunner.
this.
I totally want to hear this.
It's totally fine to say you don't want to hear this.
Is it a
No,
is it
are
a
you
Oh my
kidding
gosh,
me?
I want to hear this.
Are
so
you
not a
bad.
kidding
sonnet.
me?
It's not a
Of course you
sonnet.
wanna
It's not a
hear it.
haiku.
Are you kidding? A second place winning spoken word poet is
Runner-up.
guesting on.
I prefer runner-up. It sounds better than
for the
second
early
place.
show on a Wednesday night open?
Yeah, the judges were like 4 people.
In New Jersey, close enough to New
No, this was
Hoboken.
New York City. New York City, baby.
Okay.
All right. So
Connected.
here's the poem. You guys ready?
Totally.
All right. Moving through nature is such a delight. With the VIGG on, you'll feel like you're about to take flight. It's fast. It's sleek. It's only 3,900 sec. Let's try to make that rhyme.
Nice.
It was created by Daniel Sand, the Da Vinci of Swimrun, whose designs can only be described as grand. Whether a VIGG or a VIGG Air, if you see one, you can't help but stare. Either in the mirror or when your partner wears his, the suit looks and is 100% bliss. I've been recommending this suit since day one. Now on day whatever today is, the recommendation is the same. You'll love this suit for pretty much any locale or terrain. In the tropics, French Riviera, or Ibiza, during casual training, racing, or while eating pizza. Run or swim run to order yours today and become part of the fast and sleek Ark Sports Society.
Wow.
The end.
We should just end the show.
Wow.
We should just end the show.
end.
That sums it up.
Yeah, I don't think we need to review it. I think you covered all of it.
No Pulbo
covered it
reviews
all.
today. We just,
Anyway,
Chris,
so
that was amazing. Wait,
Thank you.
sec? Is that like a measurement?
well,
It's
it's
a
a
currency.
Swedish
gram?
krona.
It's a Swedish.
Oh.
So typically they
love
go
it.
KR, but I was trying to rhyme with sleek, and that's much harder than So anyway,
How's it pronounced? Sec?
I don't think it's pronounced anything. I think it's actually I think in Sweden it's just KR for krona, but in like international, it's always like a 3-letter thing like USD.
Yeah.
US dollars.
Right.
It's a SEK.
Oh, like Swedish something.
Swedish krona.
Well, I feel like you could take liberties here and call it seek,
Seek. Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Because it rhymes with sleek.
I'll take. Should I start over? Do it again? Just kidding.
take it from the top.
I just want that.
it was
So I just wanted to share with that.
dialed.
I was inspired that we're finally doing this.
I have the biggest
believe it.
smile on my face, Chris. That made me so happy.
I was. Wow.
Yep. Don't expect that
Floored.
every week. I also impressed my wife. She's like, "When was the last time you wrote a poem?" I'm like, "Maybe a decade ago." I don't know.
Man, the VIGG inspired you that much.
Yes.
You
Has your wife
love
gotten a
this
poem
suit.
from you, or just
Oh
the
yeah,
sweatsuit?
she's gotten poems.
Okay.
She's
Is
gotten
your wife
poems.
Is your wife a little jealous of this suit? How much you love this suit?
No. She knows who's number one. She knows who's number one.
The VIGG Air.
So anyway. So this is the
VIGG.
VIGG. This suit is a really interesting suit. It debuted, I believe it was 2019. 2018? 2019? I think it was.
I don't know.
Probably 19.
I think, yeah, 2019. And yeah, it was a super popular suit, really light, very interesting construction. Probably the most technically advanced suit in the Ark line in terms of what it's trying to achieve.
Ultra lightweight is definitely 310 grams for the sleeved version.
Yep. The sleeveless version says it clocks in around the same. Their website's interesting. Same old 310 grams. It uses premium Yamamoto limestone neoprene, has glide skin coating, anti-leak construction, woven stretch fabrics with water repellent coating, running plus bottoms, and really running plus back. Unrestricted mobility, smooth neck collar. It's breathable, has a bigger back pocket, and it's just this crazy ultralight suit. And I love it.
Yeah. So where do we begin? I think it is important to say this is not this is what you call a 4-season suit.
Yes.
This is
It's
not what you
for
call
general
a four-season
applicability.
This is
suit.
not
100%.
This
This is a French Riviera suit.
yes.
Or Ibiza.
This is a warm weather,
Oh.
lightweight. If you are, but actually, I will say, I think in the United States with our global warming crisis, this is the only suit that you're going to need probably.
I was going
No,
to say,
but
I don't know, you guys. It's working pretty well up in the Pacific Northwest.
And I have
In
a
the
theory.
summer.
It's holding its own.
I think the theory,
It's
and
the
this
summer.
is Daniel San's thing, is by making it basically leak proof, because you don't have a lot of water running through. It actually helps you stay warmer, and because the fabric repels so much water.
like a duck.
I remember, Chipper, first time I wore this at AP, you were just really surprised. I got out of the water, and it was just kind of
It's
like
like
there was like
rolling off
rain
his
X.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this suit you could probably get away with a lot of stuff in this suit just because of how it's constructed. And I've actually worn it. I wore it at Casco a few years ago, and
With
I
arm
wore,
sleeves.
Yeah, and I had
Oh, actually, you bought
I
them.
never put on the arm sleeves, but I just wore it with a kangaroo top underneath. And besides the first swim, reevaluating every single decision I ever made in my life for the first 200 yards or so. After that, it was fine.
So, clarifying question.
Go ahead, Brooke.
Is VIGG Air the same exactly as the VIGG, but just sleeveless?
Yes,
Okay. So we can talk about them interchangeably.
I believe so. Yes. I mean, the only difference will be with the sleeveless, and we'll talk about this, during the show. It's like there are some different sort of rubbing possibilities than you get from the sleeve suit, just from the construction.
Yeah.
But other than
And I
that,
think
the construction
transition.
is the same. The new VIG with sleeves and the sleeveless are the same.
All right. So let's talk about Swimrun with them. Should we talk
Yeah.
about swim?
Should we break it
Do it.
down like we do?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All
Do we want to go
Let's
run,
talk about
swim?
swim?
Swim first.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have been in our new little swim run area that we've been swimming. The water's a little bit warmer, so I have actually been training in the suit. I wore it for a few training swim runs. It definitely, you feel more water temperature. If it's colder, you're going to feel that. If it's warmer, you'll feel nice. But from a swimming perspective, it's really quite amazing. Specifically the air. And I had this same, I guess, realization with the Uto Air, their other sleeveless suit that Ark has, is that the sleeves actually don't keep me any more warm. It provide as much warmth as I originally anticipated. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It now has me kind of leaning more to being a sleeveless wetsuit person. But the Air and the VIGG, both a marvel to swim in. Have had no issues there. Great, really tight fit on the collar. No leaking. And like what you mentioned, Chris, it does have this almost like a Rain-X for your, like, the water literally is rolling off your back.
It's like hydrophobic, like water shedding fabric.
Yeah. It's a very, very tight weave.
They call it glide skin.
Glide skin. It's pretty much what it was. Loved it in the water.
Yeah. I had all those same things to say, and I won't reiterate them, but agreed, Chipper. And what I will reiterate is it's so enjoyable to swim without sleeves. Like, that is how our bodies were made to swim, and it feels so good.
So good.
Like, the fit is incredible. There's no water flush. It's just like you are swimming. That's the feeling. It's not, I'm swimming in this wetsuit. I feel a little slosh in here, a little flush in there. None of that. It's just like I'm swimming in the water and my shoulders are free as can be, and I'm just having a great time. It's so enjoyable.
Yeah, and I think that the fit is something worth talking about, because when we, this is like low tide boys pretending we're journalists. When we were in Sweden last year and we're chatting up Daniel Sand, he was explaining to us how many iterations they had to go through to figure out how to do the seal properly on the sleeveless suits, and why they spent so much time on the Uta Air trying to get it dialed in just right, and cutting a whole bunch of them, working with
Adriel
and
Oscar
Olsen on really just dialing in what the fit would look like. Because for Daniel San, it was about making sure that you keep the, what makes these suits the latest generation, which is being super thin, and they can be super thin because they essentially seal water out. So it's really interesting, the fact that they were able to work it out both on a neoprene suit, but then also on the VIGG Air. And as you mentioned, that was my experience. Like, wearing it felt just like wearing the normal VIGG, in terms of no water getting in, super tight fit, like just a dream. You just swim run. You're not even thinking about your suit. You don't have to cap down. You don't have to do shit. You can just go in and out anywhere you want and just keep going.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, I think this is the first wetsuit that I've swam in that I don't feel like I'm wearing a wetsuit. I feel like I'm swimming in skins. Or
to be fair, it's barely a wetsuit. There's not very much neoprene on this suit.
Yeah.
Okay, the first swim run. Then I'll say the first swim run wetsuit. Yeah. I haven't felt like I was wearing a swim run wetsuit, because a lot of them are barely neoprene, but you still feel like I would get water in them. Like, I felt the shoulders. This I love like Annie. I love not having sleeves. The seam around like you were saying, around the shoulders, it's like seamless. I mean, there's a seam there, but they've just done such a nice job, like covering it up with that, what is it called, glide skin, that it's almost like a seamless underwear, but like around your shoulders.
Yeah, they did a great job on the seal points here. And if you're kind of wondering if you haven't experienced, I guess, like the Ark running plus bottoms, is it fair to say that this is like one of those triathlon swim skin feeling kind of materials that's on the legs, and then basically all over the back? The only neoprene is literally from your waistline to to your neck, and that's the only bit of neoprene. And it's
on the
thin,
front,
it's
right?
thin, yeah, on the
Not
front.
back. Yeah,
And
it's not on
then,
the back though.
And
It's
then the
thin
back, is
neoprene
that
at that as
same-
well.
The back is the same Run Plus Plus or that sort
Yeah.
of breathable like swim skin material.
I will say, like, when you talk about fit, so when I first tried it on, I thought, oh shit, I got too small of a size, because it was like a shimmy process getting over my hips.
Yeah.
But then when
Same.
it's on, it fit. I think it has to be like that, because then once it's on you, it fits like a glove around the waistline. Whereas like other wetsuits would easily slide on, but then I would have water coming in and out of the waistline. So don't be discouraged if you first get it and it's kind of like, if you're a little bit more curvy, it's kind of harder to get over your hips. It's totally worth it once it's on. Like, it'll fit perfectly.
Yeah, and I'll say that I had the same experience, Brooke, and I'm not on the curvy side. So I think like it's my normal Ark wetsuit size, and I was looking at it and I was like, did I get too small of a size? But since then, I've actually noticed that it's almost adapted to fit my body. It's like it took a couple wears, and now it's just like, oh, yep, it's fine. But like you say, yeah, like if there was an owner's manual that came with it, or like a big sticker on it, like, don't panic, this is the right size.
Yeah, some break-in period,
And I
hour
think that's
to 2
true.
hours activity.
I think that's true for a lot of the Ark suits. I recently got the next generation of the regular Uta. It took a couple swim runs to have it not feel like it was crazy tight, and just have it feel like it's tight for me, as you mentioned, Brooke, like a glove essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think because of the fit, like I do think this, depending on, it depends on like acclimatization and everything, and everyone should know their own body and limits and blah, blah, blah. But because of the fit, I was able to wear this like in the Sound here, which is anywhere between 58 and 60 degrees right now, and go on like a 20-minute swim and feel fine, because there was absolutely no water getting in. Nice. And you're like a little cold getting out, but then you're running. So I do think it, at least for me, it feels like an all season, or not all season, but most location.
Like a summer
swim
suit.
Run suit. Yeah. Like a summer suit for
even in a
water.
cold place where you can have some chilly water temps like here. Yeah, I had the same experience, Brooke. And like towards the end of like a 25-minute swim, I was like, I feel chilly. But none of it was like a deal breaker type of chilly. It was more just like, this is all a range that I can easily thermoregulate within. I'm colder than I was when I started, and when I get out, I'm going to warm up.
Totally.
We've had a lot of people kind of come, when they ask us on Instagram, like, oh, what suit should I get? And I feel like in general we'll sort of shy them away from recommending this one if you're getting one suit. But then we've been hearing about a lot of people who are more comfortable with colder water. Hey, I swim open water on a regular basis, and these temperatures, I get way too hot in regular suits. I need to have a wetsuit as like a rule for the race. Would this work? And we've heard those people, like those type of scenarios, the VIGG has worked really well for them, and we've had great feedback from, if you're that kind of scenario, like you're an open water person, you can handle the cold water, and you get pretty hot running around in a regular suit, then this is kind of a great option for you.
Yeah, and I think there's another piece to that as well, which I don't know if this is for now or for later, but if you can get away with this suit, it should really be your first choice, because you have some tactical advantages that for swim running, which is all about like doing everything, all the little minutia of it and just trying to put all that stuff in automatic. I mean, you don't have to cab down as often, if ever. You don't have to really fiddle with anything. So it just gives you one less thing to have to worry about. Like if you think that you're going to run hot, you wear the VIGG, it's a good chance you're not going to overheat on the run. But again, if like what I did for Casco 2019, 2020, when was that? I was a little worried about the choice of wearing the VIGG, and what I did is I brought like an extra swim cap and arm sleeves that I just kept in my suit in case I would need them. I ended up never using them, but yeah, I mean, if I had to do that again, wouldn't be an issue. Yeah,
and I would say that's a differentiating point between the VIGG and the VIGG Air. Arm sleeves I'm not sure if arm sleeves would be compatible with the VIGG Air because you might need that little seal with the sleeve. Like I actually didn't try it, but that was one thing that I thought about was like, could I do that same sort of modular approach to kitting myself out for a swim that I wasn't quite sure what the temps were going to be? If I brought
that's
sleeves,
a good call.
I don't think you
Stay
could
tuned.
because I've worn the arms. I've worn the arm sleeves on their own, just with like a swimsuit.
They're kind of
'cause I thought my arms
floppy.
would they're down at my wrists by the time I'm done with
That
the
was my
swim, so I don't
experience
They
think
need
as
to
well.
be real. Yeah, you need to have the right either body type or the right size arm sleeve to get them to stay up. But yeah, same thing.
Yeah, because we did see that has been something that we have seen is the sleeveless suit with the arm sleeves. But I tried it, and my experience was same as yours, Brooke. Literally 2 strokes in, and it's like a baggy sweater down at my wrists,
like a bangle
Yeah.
on your wrist. So we're kind of talking about transition, which I think is like a good point that you bring up, Chris, because it does definitely minimize time on transition. And if you did want to cab down, I do think the sleeveless suit does make it easier
God.
to cab down.
You
Like
can
I
do it in 30 seconds by yourself,
Yep.
and you
It's
can
super
cab back
quick.
up.
or you can just do it, period. Like I am never able to do it by myself. And now I can actually do it, which means I don't have to have my husband be home every time after I go on a swim run. It's very liberating. I feel so
Well,
independent.
it's a good way to make new friends, I guess.
Can you help me untangle myself out of this my wetsuit? So let's transition into the run here, where I think is where the VIGG Air and the VIGG really shine. Obviously, if you're in warmer air temps, having less neoprene is going to not cook you as quick. And that was definitely my experience. This is a suit that I've worn every time we did the Odyssey Austin race, as well as the Folsom swim run. And I am doing Folsom at the time of recording this weekend, and I am definitely wearing the Ark VIGG since the air temps are slated to be probably in the 80s by the time the race is over with. So
The airflow when you unzip it is so good because the back is breathable. The zipper, the base of the zipper ends like 2 inches above where the neoprene ends. So there's only 2 inches of your torso, this little band around your low waist, that don't get venting. And it's like, oh my goodness, it's dreamy. There's so much airflow. There's very little sweaty sweat feeling.
And I didn't ever unzip it, but I mean, it's like 70s, I guess. But it feels
Brooke,
great to run in.
you should do
totally
that next
zipped
time.
up too.
You should
Really?
unzip it next time. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not even, I think that's what's so great about it. Like on the run, it's not, you don't even notice it. You're just like, this is what running in running clothes feels like.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't even feel wet, like it doesn't even feel like you're wearing something wet.
And honestly, the material I found is kind of cooling. So, while it's kind of drying on you, like your lower body will cool off a little bit from just the wet material or your back.
yeah, and I think I remember an aid station or two just like chucking some water on the back or something, and it kind of gives you a nice cooling sensation a little bit there. And both of these have the nice back pocket. Ark has really onto something. I think they perfected it between the original VIGG and the second generation. They made some very small, minor tweaks to the back pocket, but they really I think
there used to be like a vertical divider stitch, so you had 2 little sides. So they expanded that pocket out, got rid of the divider, and made the top flap a little bit bigger, longer. So it's so it's just more likely to
it's easier to get
keep
into
stuff in there, but also, like Chipper mentioned, easier to kind of just reach in there and grab stuff.
Yeah, I'm all about the
definite
flap
improvement.
pocket. I think the flap pocket is the way to go. Yeah, I love the pocket. No issues with the pocket. And it stored, I mean, I guess I didn't try a ton of stuff, but it stored water. It stored swim caps, swim goggles, paddles.
I put food in there.
You can put a lot of stuff in there. Huh?
It's very easy to use. You can just like stick your hand back there and rummage around and grab whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's a great pocket.
So
got a
unlike
couple drainage holes.
Unlike the other lines, the other suits in the Ark line, the VIGGs do not have the new front internal pocket that sort of goes parallel to your waist on the front end. So
Probably
the
just
VIGs
add
don't have
material.
those, but
It would just add weight and material.
That's probably what I was thinking, like in terms of why that wasn't included, because all the new, the Uto and the Orno X all have those new interior pockets, which we really love for Otala, because you can stuff a lot of nutrition in there and just a lot of things. But I think lightweight suit is what they're going with for this, and whatever the grams would have been to add that material, I think they opted against it. And this is not, I don't know if you're wearing this for a 10-hour, 9, 10, 12-hour swim run.
That'd be bold.
So maybe they decided, maybe they decided against it for practicality purposes as well.
Yeah, it really honors like the identity of the thing. It's just easy breezy, super lightweight.
Right. Which I think is just another.
You can always wear an undershirt that has pockets, so like you can amp up your storage.
Yeah, I mean, this pairs really well with the kangaroo top, and I was gonna say, like, I think that I appreciate Ark Sports on multiple levels, and one of the reasons I appreciate them is they were trying to make this suit be a very specific thing. They weren't trying to have it be, how can we make it closer to the corp, or how can we make it? They made this thing. I think the closest thing to it would be the Uta, whereas instead of having like the Run Plus on the back, you actually have neoprene. And you'd have it on the sleeves, or unless you have the sleeveless.
Yeah, you're not asking why can't your car seats fit in the Ferrari?
Exactly.
You don't get a Ferrari to drive your kids around.
That's true. Exactly.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Chris. Like I was thinking about how does this fit in the Ark line? How does this fit in sort of what the industry is offering for swim run wetsuits? And it's like a lot of the other Ark suits have like a knife's edge between differentiating them. It's sort of like you can line them up and they're all quite similar, but a little bit different. And this, I appreciate, just nails having a distinct category for like a summer suit that is perfect. And it's different. It's unique. There's no other summer suit.
Fills a niche.
And it literally, in your travel, I mean, it's like a t-shirt. It's like a baggy, it's like a bulky kind of t-shirt is what it folds up. So you can just easily chuck it in just to have it, just in case.
Well, did I tell you the story? I'm sure I told the story on this show, but when I ordered the original VIGG, the box came and I was really excited, and I picked up the box. I'm like, there must be playing some fucking joke on me. This box is empty. There isn't, like, I picked it up. It was like, you're expecting some gravity, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they sent me an empty box. Like, this is crazy. But no, there was a suit in there.
All 318.
Maybe it's actually
crazy.
filled with air and it doesn't manifest into a suit until you open up the box.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the thing.
Now, on the run, and again, this is talking to, we talked to Daniel Sand at Tala when we were there, and Oscar Olson and Adriel Young, who were early beta testers, prototype testers with the sleeveless suits. And I originally thought, the reason why they don't have the sleeves is to make it lighter weight, so it's not so hot. But what we actually were told is that you don't have the compression and the pull of the neoprene on your shoulders when it's actually for the run. Your shoulders are have more freedom of movement, so you're not going to have that like fatigue of kind of it pulling down on your shoulders. So
I felt that. I totally noted that, and I thank you for reminding me that I had that thought. I was running and I was like, I never realized that there was resistance at my shoulder that bothered me before.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was it's a very interesting insight that it wasn't like, it wasn't for range of motion and swimming. It was for really range of motion during the runs. And I think that, like, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Head has had sleeveless suits for a long time before Ark did. I wouldn't be surprised if sleeveless if people keep trying to iterate on the sleeveless thing, because again, if you can have a good seal, which the VIGG Air and the Uta Air provide, I mean, that's a real game changer for a lot of people, and not the least of which for just cabin down and cabin up super easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like a 3-hour swim run I did not use lube anywhere because that is the sacrifice I make for this show and for our listeners. Because I want to know if this thing is going to chafe, where would it chafe? And this thing didn't chafe anywhere. I was blown away. I was prepared to bleed, but I did not.
Okay, well,
that
listeners at home,
yeah, okay.
We appreciate Annie taking one for the team, but we recommend lubing up where there's seams or anything where you think you might chafe. Just, you don't want to find that out when you take the shower afterwards.
No, that's why I do that for everybody. I'm the only one who needs to do that. Everyone else should wear lube.
Did you go in salt water?
Did
you go in salt water?
I didn't. I probably would have bled if I'd gone in salt water because that's kind of silly.
So the first time we tried it out, we did get a few hot spots, but it was just kind of like a little bit of lessons learned. And then the next time, lubed it up with the 2 Toms Extreme. It's the only way to go is Extreme. And a non-issue after that. It kind of just, it's like, okay, now I know just basically the armpit cutout, just rub rub your lube on there and just get a little bit more,
Well, Annie, I didn't go on a 3-hour swim run. It was like an hour and a half in salt water, and I didn't lube the armpits, and I didn't get any chafing.
Awesome. Way to take one for the team, Brooke.
Well, I didn't.
Nice.
I have to say, I didn't necessarily. I was in a hurry
for. You didn't take one. You accidentally offered yourself to take one.
She was willing to.
Yeah. I'm just trying to corroborate your.
I thought this was like a Marie Curie type thing. I guess not.
I'm not as selfless as you are for the show. I still have a scar from one of my sports bras, so I'm not getting more scars.
Speaking of chafing, one thing that we heard, I forget where we heard this, Chipper, you might know. It's like one thing to consider when you're wearing sleeveless suits, this is like a PSA pro tip or whatever, is when you put on your swimrun bib on top of the sleeveless suit, Marcus, make note where the sort of the armpit of that lines up because it might cause friction and you might chafe in like a weird spot you weren't expecting.
Because of the bib, which we already agree that maybe we should be done with the bibs.
Yeah, maybe.
And do calf bands.
Yeah, we'll see.
Can we
go ahead? Go ahead, Brooke.
Well, I just want to talk about how good this suit looks.
Oh, yes.
Sure. Happy to talk about how good this suit looks.
I got a lot of compliments from my swim friends.
You look like a fucking swimrun ninja in that thing.
Yeah, they were like, you look like Catwoman. Like, they're like,
Angelina Jolie
on you.
Angelina Jolie and Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I am one step closer with the VIGG AIR.
Wow.
Yeah, and as soon as they said that, I ran much faster and swam much faster. It's a mental game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really good looking suit.
Sharp looking suits, and this is one of them.
Yeah, this is particularly
red
one
accents.
of them, though. I think because of the fit, because the fit is so like dialed in. It's literally like paint. It's like that dress that Gigi Hadid had painted on her. They should do it. They should do a commercial. You guys probably don't know about this, but they should do it was in major news streams. Anyways, they should do a commercial where they paint the suit, like spray paint the suit on someone's naked body, and then out comes the VIGG AIR, because that's what it feels like.
This is Ark doing this?
Yeah, Ark's doing it, but it's going like back. Never mind. There was a big fashion show where she had a dress painted on her, and it was an action. Never mind. Okay.
I'll have to look up this.
Are we ready for?
You should look it up.
I think we're ready for. Are we ready for any more run comments?
Hold on. I have a burning question. We have shouted our praises. Well, no, not yet, because I usually do it without lubing first. So I'm going to ask my question without lube. We've all just like sung the praises from the rooftop. It's clear we love this suit. I'm curious if anybody has any cons, like any drawbacks, anything.
I will say I was a little disappointed there was no the interior pockets, because I thought that was a net step forward in the new lineup of suits, and I really liked it. Do I use it for every race? I pretty much use it for every race. So I was bummed about that, but again, I think the kangaroo top is going to suffice just fine. And the back pocket, I fit easy 5 jumbo precision fuel and hydration, 5 jumbo gels of the 90s.
Wow.
That's like 5 hours of activity energy right there. So
Damn. 450 grams of carbs.
yeah. So that would be the only thing that I would say.
I think my only con, and I think I'm just getting used to it, is putting it on. Like just doing my little like shimmy to get it over my hips and being really, really nervous that I'm gonna cure that, seam
ripping
or something.
Crackle.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't happened, but that makes me a little nervous, and that to me is the only downside. But once I get it over my hips, it just flies right on, which is nice.
Nice.
Chris's
mouth is locked up.
I mean, I understand.
He can't say anything bad about a swimsuit, a wetsuit that he wrote a poem about.
I mean, I understand what the suit is for.
He gets it.
I mean, I get it. I know what it's for. I know what it's not for. I'm not going to wear this at the World Champs. Might I bring it because it weighs nothing and it makes me happy to have it near me? Maybe, but that's no one's business.
Okay. So I guess I'm the only one here. When I first put it on, because Brooke, I was with you, I was like, does this thing fit me? Is this too small? I checked out if the bottoms were see-through in a few different positions. These are positions that you're not usually in Swimrun, but like
like what?
Bending,
downward dog and like
downward dog, but also like bending over to tie
Happy
your
baby
shoe
pose?
or like to
Like
clamber.
pretzel?
Yes, no, I didn't trust that one, but that would be one that would concern me for sure. Yeah, but like maximally stretching your legs.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
bending
Especially if
over
it's
to
on
tie
a
my
Sunday.
shoe or to like clamber out of a really awkward exit. It's a little see-through in the back. So that got me going down this train of like, am I supposed to wear swim underwear under this thing, or am I supposed to not? Like,
Swim gym.
what is the discreet thing to do? What is the socially acceptable thing to do? I feel like it's designed to be worn with nothing underneath. Like the tech of this thing
let it fly,
is
baby.
beautiful. So I did that. I was like, you know what? I am not going to be doing happy baby. It's going to be fine. I'm going to go commando under this thing. And then I felt like it was not super comfortable on my nether
not
regions.
meant for that.
Like
yeah.
it didn't feel like it was meant for that. And I looked at how it's constructed. There's a gusset under there, which is like a seamless piece of fabric that would be where a gusset. So like a non-seamed
That is an amazing
triangle.
word. Oh yeah.
Special
Okay.
triangle.
Yeah.
Visualization.
So, like diamond triangle thing. And it's right where it should be to minimize seam contact with your most sensitive tissues. However, it's really small, and I do have seam contact with my most sensitive tissues. And so then I went with the swim underwear, which then when you bend over or do happy baby, it's definitely see-through because you can see your underwear lines. No one else has gone down this rabbit hole?
Maybe. Well, I had a little bit of discomfort in that region, but I attributed it to my swim underwear. I didn't know if I didn't attribute it to but I was wearing a really thin pair of underwears that probably wouldn't have given me much protection. So maybe it was actually the suit that was kind of causing discomfort.
I also just lube up down there as a general best practice these days. And I have
I will
less of
definitely
that
be doing
happening.
that next time. Now that I've asked my question.
Or maybe this is opening up the market for nude, different shades of skin color swim underwears.
Yeah.
For another
totally.
show. Okay, pull boys, we're dishing them out.
Just putting that out there.
I had to be heard, and thank you for hearing me. Here we go.
Thank you, Annie.
And
Annie's
make
concerned
more,
about people's
make
modesty.
more shades than just Caucasian, please, if you decide to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Chris, just kick us off. We know where you're going.
I mean, I fucking wrote a poem about this suit.
True.
So I don't know
You
what
could
else
have
I
worked
need to say.
five pull boys in the poem somewhere.
I know I should have. I messed that up. Yeah, I mean, I love the suit. Again, it's not for universal applicability. If it's a cold weather thing, you probably want to carry on something that's going to give you a little bit more neoprene. If you're an experienced swim runner and are comfortable with whatever environment you're in, this suit is great. Yeah. I'll keep wearing it. Keep singing its praises.
That's a 5.
Yeah. That's 5. Sorry.
Thanks,
Translation.
Thanks, Tripper.
I'll also give it a 5. Again, not if you're buying one suit, this likely is probably not the best one to purchase. But if you like all of us with a swimrun equipment problem, this is a great arrow to have in your quiver for when it's a little bit warmer, or you could tolerate that. Basically, if you could tolerate, this is like my stance on it now. If I know I can tolerate the water temperature, this would be the suit to wear because it's so good on the run. It has the sleeveless piece. You don't have to cab up and down as much. It just makes things, like Chris mentioned, a lot simpler. So I'm going to give it 5 as well, despite the lack of internal pockets, but I'll get over that.
Brookie?
Yeah, I give it a 5. I think I don't think I'm what did you say, Chris? If you're an elite swim runner, I don't fall into that category, but I do think I'm more acclimatized to colder water temps. So I feel like I could wear this in the summer months anywhere. Maybe not like Alaska, but you get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm giving it 5 too. I love it. It's a joy. And I feel like with most things, it takes, a few wearings to figure out how you're going to deal with your nether regions. And I can also own the fact that I used no lube. So that's not a reason to take off half a pull buoy. Thank you for letting me think out loud. Yeah, 5.
Also, this segment brought to you by 2 Tom's Extreme Lube. Lube up, people.
Yeah, I give
over.
it a 5 for all the reasons that everybody said. It deserves it. It's great.
There you go.
Cool.
Do you have a
Did that
closing...
exceed your expectations, Chris? Were you hoping for a sweep?
Well, no. I mean, I think, with a lot of this stuff, when you have a show like this and there isn't just a lot of content around this, like I feel like there's some things, like we were talking about it at Casco, there were so many people wearing the Adidas Terrex Speed Ultra shoes that you can't help you can't help but feel a little responsible. Like if everyone has a bad experience, it's your fault, or all the people using surf ears. And I feel like this is just another one where I've been recommending and loving this suit since day one, so it's nice that you all got to try it and use it and feel the same way. It's like, it makes me feel
Absolutely.
like I'm not,
Yeah, and
like,
thank you to
batshit
Ark
crazy.
for getting behind that.
Of course,
was
again.
quite a
Ark
treat
is the best.
to be able to try it out. And yeah, as I was running, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was like, swimrun wetsuits have come so far.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my gosh, yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you said you did open mic in New York. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like impromptu or it was planned?
No, it was a period where I was trying to be a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
So part of the open mic thing was just like practicing, and I would always write these kind of crazy spoken word poems on like random topics. So I had one that I was really fond of about pork buns, which is a food item that I'm very fond of.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's
do you
how
think
that
you'd be able to close us with a quick couplet?
No,
We're gonna take that from Annie.
no, I'm not taking
Annie,
it from
can
Annie.
you
I
close
had my
us with
moment.
a quick couplet?
I'm already severely embarrassed that I
okay,
read a
banter
poem
among
to
yourselves for a
everyone.
moment.
That was a very
Okay.
vulnerable moment. I couldn't not have brought myself to do such
If you
a
want to swim run and make people stare, slip on in to the sleek VIGG Air.
I like it.
But watch
Lest
out.
you believe that
People could
looks
see
are
your derriere.
everything. Lest you believe that looks are everything while you're looking real sharp.
Oh no!
Oh man, I don't feel as embarrassed anymore. It was
Okay.
good. Thanks,
It was going. It was good.
I digress. Lest
Don't
you
forget to lube your thing.
No. Lest you think that looks are everything. Put this on and your swim run's going to sing.
There you go.
Okay. Let's print it.
Dang it.
Yeah.
And also lube your thing.
Yeah, lube your
Yeah,
bits,
lube
people.
your thing.
Lube your things and your whatever you got going on. It's your own business. Lube up.
Lube.
Tom's 2 times Tom's Extreme. Over and out, team.
Copy that.
We did it. We did it.
Wow.
That's it for this week's episode. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and leave a rating or review, since that's the best way to help other people discover the show and the sport of swim run.
Check out our website, lowtideboys.com. That's boys with a Z, for swimrun resources, including gear guides, tips, how-to videos, and so much more. Make sure to check out our meme page at The Low Tide Boys on Instagram. If you have any questions or suggestions for the show, send us a DM or email us at lowtideboys@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Riding Easy Records for our show music, and of course our wives for their support and tolerance of our swim run and other activities.
Lots of activities.
Lots of activities.
Finally, you can support our efforts on Patreon. Until next time, get out there and go for a swim.
Then a run.
And then a swim.
Then another run.
Then another swim.
Then run some more.
Just keep going.
Let's go.
And then stop at some point because,
And fuel. Don't forget to fuel.
Gotta fuel
Of
too.
course, yes.